We're live.
Good evening, sunshines. It's been a hot second since we've done this. I think the last time was with Carson, talking about all of our farm remedies and all of his soil fixes and things. But since then, we've got ourselves a new little sprout. Alexander Eric is here, and he is dressed in the world's cutest outfit, courtesy of his Auntie Emily, who is behind the scenes over there. Moderating the comments and also here to serve in a Alexander emergency should he have a meltdown, because he's never been a star before, but he's obviously, aside from that little grimace, already a star. Also,
a star.
Uncle Adam. Sorry, we were with our nephew right before this. So, dad of all trades over here, with his fancy new haircut. Just before the baby was born, I gave him a haircut to de-stress right before we went to the hospital, and he just got his after baby haircut. And if you follow me on Instagram, I talked about doing the big reveal of the new haircut. So here it is. He looks so handsome.
Thank you. Yes, you should do a good job. Your haircutting skills are getting better and better.
Well, like most things that we practice, we improve over time. Alexander. My favorite thing about Alexander's outfit, I feel like this is a gardening channel, so this is really important, is all of the vegetables. But then if you lift up the carrot, it says hello, which is very cute. Okay.
Yes, baby's first live stream.
Baby's first live stream. Oh, he's a star! Look at that yawn. Also, if you tuned into our last video, talking about our birth story and also just like overcoming fear as we became parents, and also as we dealt with infertility and just bringing him into the world, you might have seen that he was much, much smaller.
He's gotten huge.
He's definitely taking after his papa in every single regard here. He's getting very big very quickly. And this is why we invited Auntie Emily. But it's okay. We're good, aren't we, buddy? We're okay. We're okay, aren't we? He's going to practice all his good faces. Buddy, you're perfect, aren't you?
Our friend Emily, back there. Oh, there's a little wave.
There's the wave. Oh, Emily will be our Eugene for this live stream, because Eugene wasn't able to join us this evening. She had other engagements.
So Emily is going to do the moderating. You already see she dropped a note in the chat there with a little wrench symbol.
You can see Emily B.
Emily B. So if y'all have any questions, fire away. This is probably a little bit more unstructured than usual, because we have just had a child, and
we're still adjusting.
And planning for these live streams does take time, and coming up with topics and trying to make sure that we're talking about gardening questions and stuff. But we wanted to really get on the chat and
actually engage,
answer questions, and really just see y'all, because it's been
a hot second.
I think it's been 2.5 months. So
we did not intend. Well, we had no idea that we were going to be taking this much time off. But because I nearly died and whatnot, it's taken a little bit longer to recover than we had initially planned on. So in that time, little farmer Alexander has actually just met the animals for the first time the other day. He came down in his stroller, and I will say that everyone was pretty nonplussed, including Alexander. The donkeys were very excited about stealing everything out of the stroller. Alexander was first crying, then immediately fell asleep. And Johnny and June, I was expecting to have this beautiful Instagram-worthy introduction, because I was so excited about introducing them and everything. Anyway, no one cared. So
look at him. He's just playing around.
He's practicing his best, cutest yawns and sad faces. Oh, buddy. By the way, he's like an angel of a baby. We really, I think we'll keep him. We picked a good one. Actually, just kidding. He picked us. Who are we kidding? So, Adam, what do you think your favorite thing about being Dadam is so far?
Many things. I mean, first of all, he's so dang cute, which is ridiculous how cute he is and how much I want to hang out with him. And I always look forward to seeing how much bigger he's gotten every morning when we wake up.
Yeah.
Because, like, literally, it seems like he grows overnight.
He is, yeah. He's growing very, very fast. For non-baby people here, I will just say that I'm 5'2", Adam's 6'3". When he was born, he was 22 inches tall. Now he's 24 inches tall. That's 2 feet tall, so he is almost half my height, which is kind of ridiculous for a 6-week-old baby. He was 7 pounds 7 ounces when he was born, and he now weighs 13 pounds. 13 whole pounds. He's fast approaching my liftable weight limit, which is a real...
Yeah, you're not supposed to lift more than 20 pounds.
15, actually, until Friday's appointment, we get cleared for up to 20, hopefully, if things are progressing the way that they should.
KTV wants to know if you've adopted any new animals or plants to grow up alongside him and be the same age.
Oh, that's a great question. And probably actually the easiest answer is no. In fact, we downsized significantly in preparation for, knowing that my 9th month of pregnancy, I would very likely be less mobile. And then also knowing that Adam of no trades, Adam of no trades, dad of all trades, he's a great dad, would be taking care of the farm in my absence, however long that would be. And he is so, he's done such a good job, but also it's definitely not his thing. So we wanted to make it as easy on him as possible, not knowing what all this was going to be like. And frankly, it was much harder on him, I think, than we ever expected it was going to be in every regard.
I don't know if I would agree. But that you think it was harder on me?
Well, you rose to the challenge, and you've had to
very nice of you to say.
You've had to take care of the farm for 3 months instead of 1.
Yeah.
You've, had to deal with the emotional fallout of your wife nearly dying. You've had to deal with the identity change of going from,
that's fair,
becoming a dad.
I think that's a very kind thing of you to say. I don't know that I would ever say that the whole experience was harder on me. I've been very proud of how you've handled all this. I think medically that was a very scary thing to go through. Obviously there's a lot of emotions involved. I also do think the mom takes a disproportionate amount of the burden with regard to feeding and nighttime stuff. And so while I appreciate the compliment, I think you don't want to sell yourself short. I think you've done a fantastic job.
Well, thank you. But I think we work as a team very well. Adam's done most of the diaper changes. Even when we wake up at night to feed or whatever, he's always do you need help with anything? And he's just doing such a great job. Plus, one of my favorite things is watching him on the baby monitor and seeing him singing to Alexander and just being the world's best dad, which literally, when we met 21 years ago, I misspoke in our video. I said 17 years. I realized it was 21. When we met 21 years ago,
it's true.
My first thought was, what a great dad you were going to be.
No.
And it took us this long to get to where you actually could be one, but you've far exceeded.
Oh, well, thank you. We're loving it.
Yeah, it's the best.
It's been really great. I'm being completely honest.
Effort wants to know what was the first tool he reached for.
So funnily enough,
so I'm going to repeat it because I'm not sure how.
Oh yeah, that's right. Worth the effort.
Worth the effort asked, what's the first tool he reached for?
He really, if you don't know, babies have really poor eyesight, so they really like high contrast things. So when we're down in my office, he reaches for the draw knives that are hanging in my window because they are like they're a shadow in front of a bright light. Bubby, are you getting sick of being held like this? Do you want me to hold you a different way? You want to hold him?
Sure.
All right, perfect. Here he is.
Bubba.
He's such a good dad. Oh, good boy.
We'll see how long this lasts.
It doesn't look like it's gonna last very long. He may want to go over your shoulder or something. Also, you can show them my favorite part. He was born with hair just like his dad's at first, and that is all mostly fallen off. And now he suddenly looks like Larry David. Can you move your thumb so they can see his hair, the long hair?
Oop.
Other way.
Opposite.
Yeah, there it is. Here's his Larry David hairline right here.
George Costanza, Larry David. Yeah.
Yes, and it's very fluffy and long right there, but everywhere else it went bald immediately. And now what's growing in actually is making him look exactly like my brother, which is a weird thing.
Okay, before we move on, let me call out a few super chats that we got. Super, generous. We don't deserve this stuff, but thank you guys. Kiwi, earlier, actually before the live stream even started, sent a super chat. Thank you very much. That was very generous of you. My channel sent a super chat earlier. It says, I just figure the name of the channel is called My Channel.
That's a brilliant name.
I just figure being out of work and in the hospital twice, every penny can help. My garden is doing great. Thanks to you. I haven't touched it in a month except to grab food.
Oh, thank you so much. Also, that makes me so happy to know because, anytime we can, just have a touch point with reality of any of, anyone who's ever actually gotten anything valuable from the videos, it's really hard for me to ever think about making a video that I don't know exactly who it's going to help and how. And so it means so much to know that there are people on the other side of things that are actually using the tips.
Very easy to feel like you're speaking into a dark void.
Totally.
On the internet, even when we have luckily have been fortunate to have a following, it still often feels like you're shouting into a deep void.
Totally. And also, especially this year, because I usually go on a big speaking circuit in the summertime. And that gives me a chance to interact with a lot of people face to face and give hugs and shake hands and all those things and have conversations face to face. This year I didn't because his timing was impeccable and we had to cancel all of our speaking engagements.
He's so chill right now.
He's so perfect.
Elena Pierce would like to know, were you nervous the older you got to have a baby?
Yeah, absolutely. So Elena Pierce? Mm-hmm. Asked, was I nervous the older I got to have a baby? Absolutely. And for those of you who haven't, been around for the whole piece of this, we have been married for 13 years and have struggled with infertility for 12 of those years. And we actually were just about to announce our last pregnancy, our baby girl last year, and right before we publicly announced it, we found out that we had miscarried. And that was awful because literally it was the biggest surprise pregnancy ever, because we had never been able to get pregnant before. But then now in retrospect, if she, if that miscarriage hadn't happened, he wouldn't exist. And so all of those things that are just impossible to navigate and so devastating and so why give hope if it's going to be taken away, those kinds of things.
He's smiling.
Is he smiling? Oh my gosh, his smiles are the absolute best. Often his smiles are also followed by the weirdest faces ever, so it's always in perspective.
Also, Jake would like to know, do y'all need more help on the school still?
Yes.
Jake asked if we need more help on the school still.
Yes, and the answer is yes. We did take a slight break for obvious reasons. I wasn't able to be building, etc. But yeah, no, we if I can put two things out into the universe today, the two things that we really need are an honest contractor to help us see the school build through to the end. Or a team or whatever that looks like. And then we also really would like to find someone who's maybe looking to retire soon or whatever locally, who wants to help us with like farm stuff, so that we can kind of just basically like the situation that we got ourselves in, this situation where we had to take 3 months off, not expectedly at all. And yeah, we just want to find someone who we know we can rely on to hire to help in situations like that. So I'm putting those two things out into the universe. If you are
looking for a farmhand,
we're looking for a farmhand. If you're in Nashville, or you know somebody in Nashville who is full of integrity and wants to learn stuff, and also, like, you know.
But you're looking for maybe somebody in, like, for a certain, you said, like, kind of like closer to, like, maybe like retirement kind of.
Yeah, somebody who has a handful of skills already under their belt, who wants to, you know, manage, like, help manage a property. There's an infinite amount of things that we can do. Like, I mean, we have a sawmill, we have our mushroom stuff that we do, we have our cow stuff that we do, we have a mile of fences that need to be maintained and right now need to be fixed thanks to storms.
Like help with just random stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And that's more true now too, just because I've been so physically limited. Like, I mean, I asked my doctor at our last appointment last week, how long until I can use my chainsaw again, and she laughed. And I was like, I don't feel like that's the response I was looking for. And also, that wasn't a joke.
He's being so good.
He is so
It's like ridiculous. Let me read a few more super chats. Jeff Moss, thank you so much.
Hold on before you move on. I have to. Oh no, I have to say to Jeff specifically. Well.
Is that what Jeff says?
Yes.
All right.
Moss man
says, so happy for the family of all trades. He's being so good. He's just like enjoying the spotlight.
He's born to be a star.
Super unrelated, but Hope would like to know where those overalls are from. She loves the color of them.
Oh, thank you. I also love these overalls. These are from Duluth.
Duluth Trading, yeah.
Duluth Trading. I wish we had a code or something for you. We keep asking them for one, but we don't. And so check out Duluth. Duluth Women's. We love these. These ones are called the Armachillo. I'm probably not saying that right. Dyslexia is a heck of a drug.
They're the gardening ones, right?
Yeah, they're the keep you cool ones. So we are loving that.
All right, another super chat from Simple Things. Thank you so much. It says, I hope this helps in some way, even if it is a small way.
We so appreciate
and
that.
A lot of hearts.
We have those hearts right back.
We got a big super chat from Patty too.
Patty.
His last name, I can't remember. Bart.
We told Emily that she was fully entitled to do my version of mispronouncing people's names, because I'm so good at mispronouncing names. The reason that we really needed Emily to come help us is because the thought of me trying to read, again, dyslexia is a super fun thing, and talk and anything else is a joke.
Yeah, this would be crazy right now to try to keep up with this many comments with holding a baby.
But also, yeah, are you...
So I'm very grateful that Emily's here.
Yeah, we're very grateful for Emily.
Your mom's here too, Adam.
My mom is?
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lanta Grammy. Grammy's in the chat.
On her grandson.
Checking on her grandson.
Let me just read a few super chats so we don't fall behind. Simple Things, again, says precious, all caps.
Oh.
Thank you, Simple Things. Courtney B, first year gardener, thanks to you, my garden is rocking.
Maybe that was meant to be an exclamation
I think that was supposed
point.
to be an exclamation point.
But if it's rocking, ? Please hit us with your questions. We're happy to help.
That's awesome. And then Chris Conversino.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, buddy, it's a long time no see. What's the first trade you planned for boat?
Sleeping through the night. That'll be a beautiful trade for him to acquire.
Look how chill he is right now.
He is so perfect.
Hey, Kimberly Dickey wants to know if you know Billy Bond.
Yeah, Permapastures.
Yeah.
We love Billy. Permapastures Farm, that's another great YouTube channel. Also, the Permaculture Consultant is his son's channel. They actually have come here to do some consulting. We've talked a lot about just like Permaculture,
Swales.
which is, oh, look at you, Farmer Adam, learning the terms.
I listen.
Permaculture is permanent agriculture, thinking about setting things up for long-term success. A lot of that has to do with water collection. So yeah, you dig berms and swales, which are basically little pathways to slow water flow down on your property, and direct it where you actually want it to go. Part of the reason why our lazy garden lazies so well is because it's on a slope, and in the hard pan underneath where we have our garden beds, I dug a whole bunch of swales to slow down the water flow through there and to direct it right where we want it. And so, that's that. Is there anything else, any other shout outs you want to go to before we start talking about like the mayhem that's happened in our...
Yes, one quick. Let me just do a few more of the super chats. Super generous, Patty Barch, thank you so much. She says, bless you guys for all you've been through. Thank you, Patty.
Thank you so much.
And Sarah W., super generous. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You guys. Amazing. And then Kimberly Dickey, also super generous. Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you. Yeah, we so appreciate all this. And actually, just really quickly too, speaking of all of that, we also, if you know, our channel is basically one of the things that makes making any of our videos possible is Redmond. Redmond Real Salt, Redmond Agriculture. This is our channel's main partner, and for very good reason.
Great company.
Great company. We absolutely love everything Redmond. I feel like this is a good opportunity to just say that baby Alexander, possibly the reason that he's so healthy and so robust is thanks to the fact that Re-Lyte, so Redmond makes this incredible hydration. They have all kinds of electrolytes, healthy electrolytes, where you don't have to worry about sodium. This is all the good stuff. They make healthy electrolytes, but believe it or not, they actually make a electrolyte chocolate, which at first when I thought about an electrolyte chocolate, I was thinking about mixing it in just cold water, and that didn't sound super great to me until I got the pro tip to put it in our cow's milk or our goat's milk, and holy moly. Basically I drink between 1 and 2 quarts of milk. That's a half gallon for those of you who of chocolate milk, thanks to Redmond, and my entire pregnancy. And I think that is also why this little muffin is so rotund. And I will also say that due to, replacing all of our salt and other health products with Redmond stuff is a huge piece of why I think both of us were as healthy as we were going into our pregnancy and everything else. We absolutely love everything that Redmond does. We'll talk more about some of the other stuff. I actually have a really new life hack I just found out with Redmond stuff we'll talk about in a little while.
I have more questions for you.
Please hit us with a question.
Zachary Bab would like to know, do they use noxious or poisonous plant, tansy or nightshade, in the water fermentation or fertilizer?
Repeat the question.
Are you talking about, maybe repeat the question, because I'm not actually sure what we're talking about there.
Me either. Zachary Bab.
Mm-hmm.
Do they use noxious or poisonous plant, tansy or nightshade, in the water fermentation for fertilizer?
Oh. I think, no. I'm going to clarify the question really quick and then just answer it based on what I think that you're asking, which is, in our Weeds Are Good video, we talk about how weeds are an indication of what's wrong with our soil. So basically, to summarize it all, Mother Nature never wants to be left uncovered. So if you leave bare soil, weeds are going to pop up. If you have soil that's not minerally balanced or is not fertile or is really compacted or whatever, weeds, certain kinds of weeds, are going to show up and totally thrive there. And that's because weeds, their job is to fix the soil. You'll notice that over time,
Hey, buddy.
if you just leave a piece of soil untouched, like first some grasses will come in,
go.
and then some taller weeds will come in, and then some tap roots will come in, like dandelions and other things. These are all like doing different jobs to actually fix the soil. So all that to say that we make our own fertilizer for our soil using the weeds that show up in our garden, because those weeds are going to be indicators of what's wrong with our soil. So like, you know, a dandelion's going to show up where it's compacted, where it needs phosphorus. It's going to send down a deep taproot. We're going to pull that dandelion off, put it in some water, and let it putrefy in the sun. And then we're going to use that water, that putrefied dandelion water, to basically fertilize the area that dandelion was previously going. And as we do that, the soil composition is actually going to change so that it's no longer a perfect environment for a dandelion anymore. And because we've added the nutrients that dandelion needed by putting the dandelion water in there, we can then plant something that we actually do want in place of that dandelion. Like, for example, an artichoke, which is also in the thistle family. Anyway, that was a really long way of answering that question.
Sorry, startled him. That was
Babies
really sad.
have a really strong startle reference. Reflex.
Hey, buddy, I'm sorry.
You want another one?
Wait, hold on.
Sorry.
The answer to your question, this was like the world's longest way to answer that, but it's like, do you use noxious weeds to do that? So there is like, that is a both yes and no answer, but the real answer is invasive or noxious weeds act very differently than native weeds. And so if it's an invasive or noxious weed, we generally don't want to create the environment that is actually going to better help like foster that plant.
Okay, give us a baby question.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
sorry.
okay, I need to do a baby question. Well, one is Sonia would like to know, does baby Alexander have an Amazon registry?
Sonia Alex wants to know.
Sonia Lemon.
Slumman wants to know if we have a registry.
We do. There's my friend who is way more tech savvy than I did set up this really cool baby registry thing that takes things from like all over the internet. So there's stuff from Etsy and
I think
Amazon.
I put the link in
Yeah,
there.
I just posted it in there for y'all.
Oh, okay, cool.
Emily B just posted the link. It's the baby list for us. And so yeah, if you want to.
Nothing expected though.
Yeah,
guys.
we have
Seriously.
absolutely zero expectation of that. She created it literally because people kept asking. And I was like, oh, actually, that's kind of a funny thing. She was like, what do you have for baby Alexander? And I was like, well, we have the tiny chair this is backwards. We have the tiny Windsor chair that I built for him. That's very important. We have the baby bassinet little thing that I built for his cousins, actually, but his cousins have all outgrown it. I will say that one of the benefits of having our baby so much later is that all of his cousins have plenty of hand-me-downs for him, even though Adam is the second oldest child. So, you know, Alexander's gotten really spoiled. But truly, prior to all of this, the two things that I had were that Windsor chair and this. And I was like, you know, babies don't need much, really. And she was like, oh my gosh, and you need some bare,
very nice, though.
yeah, and therein lies the thing, is that like I will say that there were so many things I would have never thought of that we would absolutely need.
Yeah, we're like, what is this? And
Yeah,
then we're like,
first.
oh, okay, I see why people would buy this.
Yeah, like there's been so many things that it's like truly like what do you feel like is the biggest game changer thing for you?
Well, like the drying rack for bottles. Like that's a very I just wouldn't have thought to buy that.
Yeah, so therein lies like a funny thing. I have OCD, and so I like cleanliness things has always been very important to me. But like you had a baby that I'm now like worked so hard to get into this world, and I'm trying to protect him from all things. And we live on a farm, so so basically like having a separate place to dry the bottles that is only for bottles and remains clean, like something I would have never thought of, but also holy moly, I'm so glad we have it.
And we're the swaddle stuff too. You're like into the this actual swaddle stuff.
Totally. Oh yeah. So like I had,
I think I saw somebody ask this question too.
Yes, you're talking about
Like, how's your swaddle game? Somebody asked this.
I will say that
Hey, buddy.
when we first brought him home from the hospital, I told Adam, I was like, Adam, swaddling a baby. And side note, like I am in the weeds as far as new parenthood as much as literally anyone else. I did nanny for 9 years though, and I used to work at an outdoor preschool, so I had some experience with this stuff. But I was telling Adam when we first came home from the hospital, when you're swaddling a baby, it's basically like saddling a horse. And when you're saddling a horse, you have to like kick it in the stomach to get all the air out so that you can get the saddle tight enough that you don't fall off the horse while you're riding it. Obviously, we're not kicking our baby. I just used that as an example in how we are swaddling. Like when you're first bringing him home, he's so fragile and he's so cute. And I was watching Adam swaddle him, and he's like preciously folding, and like literally it was like just like drooped around his body. And might I also mention how
he seemed fragile.
Well, he was. I mean, he is, but also he is so strong. This child is very, very strong. So anyway, I was always like, I am not going to get any sleep if he breaks out of his swaddle.
Contrast that to today, where we're like,
yeah, Adam
wrestling the child into a burrito.
Yes, we sing a little. He's an Alexander burrito. We sing that to him every day. Also, So all that to say that Adam is now a champion swaddler, and actually even I am now like, whoa, this is really great. But we love these ones the most. They're like kind of stretchy, and we tried the sleep sacks and all of the other things that we inherited from his cousins, but truly this stretchy swaddle.
Those are good sometimes.
Yeah, totally, for like nap time and things like that.
Yeah.
But if you need him to sleep for like more than an hour and a half, you gotta go with the strong swaddle.
The OG ones.
And saddle him like a horse.
Amazing.
Okay. Oh, great. Hit us with some gardening. This is a gardening channel. I told Adam, I was like, I'm sure people are really excited to see him, but also we're here for the gardening stuff.
Oh, hey, Bob.
So let's do the garden stuff.
You're okay. You want to hear more lazy gardener stuff, buddy? Lazy gardener.
A feral cat had kittens in my backyard. They've all been...
Oh, I thought that was the name at first. And I was like, a feral cat had kittens in my backyard.
Kind Mind SRQ.
Perfect. Kind Mind SRQ says...
Can be read, but all their eliminations are fouling the dirt. These questions for neutralizing or fixing the soil.
Yes. Okay. So this was a question about cat poop in the soil, basically. And that is a real challenge to deal with. Full disclosure, I'm not 100% sure what, again, coming back to now, I care a lot more about safety and toxicity things than I ever did before. But I do know that bentonite clay is a fantastic, both, it has fertility properties. It also has, it binds toxins, it binds heavy metals. All of the Redmond agriculture garden products that we talk about on this channel all the time, they have bentonite clay in them, which is basically historic volcanic ash that was perfectly preserved. And in that, the thing that, if you're trying to neutralize some sort of contamination, the first place I'd go to is bentonite clay. Redmond is the best bentonite clay source that I know about. You can get free shipping if you buy from them. Use the code ANNOFALLTRADES. If you're ever buying anything from them, that'll get you a discount, and also let them know that you're shopping with us. But with that, bentonite clay is probably the greatest answer I can give. Also, literally just being really, really use your eagle eyes to your advantage, and try to, anytime you find an actual turd in your garden, get rid of it, because cat poop is the one thing that I would say is deeply, deeply not wanted in your garden. And I will say that people ask me about that all the time. How do we keep cats out of our garden? We have barn cats. How do we keep them from pooping in the garden? Because it seems like a perfect sandbox for them. And the answer is our dogs. Our dogs have free reign of everything, and they will chase anything that is not meant to be in there out.
Cool. Here's one from a little while ago that I missed because we went back to
Oh,
different
no
questions.
problem.
Gonna One Day Homestead asks, can Anne's lazy gardening be applied to container raised beds? Is this something she could address in future videos? We have the top 3 venomous snakes in the world here, so in-ground is a no.
Yeah, I understand. Those nope ropes are...
Repeat the question.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Can lazy gardening techniques be used in above ground gardens or container gardens? And the answer is absolutely yes. Their reason for asking is because they have a lot of venomous snakes in the area, which we do too here. So they say gardening in the ground is absolutely no. So yes, lazy gardening will help you with all of any kind of garden. It may work a little bit differently. If you're strictly in containers that are not that have a foot on them, and you're placing that on concrete or some other hard surface, it is going to work differently than if you were to have something that has its feet in the soil. However, putting mulch and using compost to enrich your soil is going to help with your soil your water retention, your soil health. Adding organic matter is going to give the creepy crawlies that create a beautiful superhighway system that aerates your plants and aerates your soil and provides all the nutrients that your plants need. All of that is going to happen a lot better in gardens, in any situation where you're adding mulch and or compost and adding fertility and or organic matter to help. Anytime you're adding mulch, I always say also try to add some sort of good fungus, some fungus among us. And in that, I really love using wine cap mushrooms. Wine cap mushrooms have really aggressive mycelium, that's mushroom roots. It looks like mold kind of, but it's just like white little hairs that show up in the soil. And because when you add wine cap mushroom spawn or other mushroom spawn that can, eat through that mulch fairly well, it's going to help to both retain water in the soil. It's going to create a great superhighway for nutrient sharing and other things like that. So yes, it absolutely does work. Lazy gardening, you can check out our lazy gardening series here on our YouTube channel for more on that. But yes, absolutely, there is no situation where adding mulch and adding fertility to the soil through adding organic matter is not going to help. Will it make it so that you have a little container sitting on a concrete pad, never has to be watered again? Maybe not, but it will certainly help with your water retention, your nutrient density, your available nutrients for your plants that they can then take up and turn into nutrients for your body.
Here's a fun one. Lulu B wants to know, what do your GP doggies think of the boat?
So we have livestock guardian dogs, which to some people are really scary. And
you gotta repeat the question.
Oh, sorry. Yep, sorry, I keep forgetting about this. Who is it from again?
It is from, I lost it.
Oh, that's okay.
Sorry.
The question was,
Lulu B.
Lulu B says, what do our livestock guardian dogs think about baby of all trades? And the answer is, though I had imagined in my mind this was going to be the most precious introduction, Johnny, one of our livestock guardian dogs, is so attentive to me specifically. My whole pregnancy, he was he would not leave me alone. He would, just constantly smell my stomach and follow me around. Anyway, now that the baby's out, he doesn't care. And I truly had thought it was going to be the most precious, I show him the baby and it's some Simba moment. And it was very anticlimactic. And actually, at first, he was afraid of him. And I'm like, you're a 136-pound dog. You should not be afraid of this tiny little potato. But here we are. I'm sure that'll change. I mean, as soon as he starts having, food spilled all over him and other things like that, or just is more interesting than this, Johnny will probably be his best friend in the whole world. And I truly am getting teary even thinking about that. Welcome to postpartum hormones.
Well, we can talk about bentonite clay.
Oh.
Walking in faith, how do you take bentonite clay? Do you take it orally? How much do you take? And how would I use it in my soil?
Oh, well, okay, so Walking in Faith asks a question about bentonite clay, which is the same kind of clay I was just talking about a second ago. And there are a bazillion different uses for it. For those of you who have my level of pop culture stuff, aka pop culture that was popular 20 years ago, there's My Big Fat Greek Wedding was like one of my favorite movies, and in that movie her dad is always like, for every ailment, for every issue ever, put some Windex on it. And truly, my answer to like mosquito bites, bee stings, soil health, his diaper rash, my dog Johnny's yeasty ears, literally everything, put some bentonite clay on it. And there's human versions of the clay, and there's also agricultural versions, which are basically, the human version is more pulverized and the animal version is a little bit less pulverized. But it is a toxin binder, a pH neutralizer, all these other things. You can, was it Tammy that was asking this?
It was Walk in Faith.
Oh, Walk in Faith was asking, how do I take it? And this may sound weird to a lot of people, but I started taking a teaspoon of clay and a teaspoon of Redmond salt mixed in 8 ounces of water every day. First thing when I wake up, I take a big old glug of that, which has helped like fix all kinds of stomach issues. We're not going to make any medical claims on here, but there's just, my health has been revolutionized by doing that. It binds toxins. It helps make you, it balances the pH of your stomach. It does all kinds of things. Anyway, I take it orally, but I also literally make this into a paste and put it on mosquito bites or bee stings. We have a little powder puffer thing that we use, and it will clean up his diaper rash in moments. Again,
Closer to the camera.
Oh yeah, sorry. This is the label. I don't know if that's backwards, but it's Redmond clay. It's available. Emily, you can put the link
Oh yeah.
to Redmond.
I've put it in a couple times already.
Yeah. And
I'll put it in.
again, use the code AnnofAllTrades. And the funny thing is, my friends in regular conversation are always like, oh, are we talking about Redmond? And I was like, this is not because we work with this company. It's literally because we believe in the products, and we've had so many positive things that have happened with our health, our fertility, our animal well-being, everything, as a result of using salt, like the good kind of salt, and clay, the good kind of clay, for a myriad of maladies.
Let me catch up on some super chats here. Fred McIntyre says, I hope you guys like the boat onesies.
Fred sent a Baby of All Trades onesie in every single size until Alexander's basically in college. And that was so awesome of you, Fred. And the funny thing was, it took me a hot second to try to figure out who had sent them, because it wasn't immediately clear. But then I was like, you know what? It was Fred for sure. So Thank you so much, Fred, for that. And he is so cute in those.
Thank you, Christian Fox, super chat, super generous. Jennifer, sorry if I mispronounced. Nettie. Can you share the Redmond garden fertilizer you recommend?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we're talking about soil health in general, Redmond has a couple different products that we recommend for different circumstances. But if you are literally, you need fertility in your soil, you need that nitrogen, if you're thinking of buying a fertilizer, please, for the love of everything that is holy, don't use fertilizer in your garden, like the NPK, Miracle Grow, because that is basically hard drugs. You give it drugs, and it'll need more of those drugs forever and ever and ever. Why we really like Redmond products is because even with their fertilizer products, you're adding actual fertility to the soil. You're improving the microbiome of the soil. So with that, Redmond has 3 different soil products. One of them is Redmond Grow, which is it's their regular Redmond soil conditioner. It's bentonite clay, and salt and a few other additives in there. But the Grow has turkey poop in it, and so that adds that nitrogen component, that adds that fertility, but also it has the right things in it so that the bugs and the other little microorganisms in your soil that need to actually decompose that nitrogen and turn it into anything except just a hard drug for your soil, and improve your fertility long term. That's the Redmond Grow product. But for anyone who doesn't know what their soil chemistry already is, they have a product called Redmond Build, which is just it's just good minerals for your soil. So if you can put that on your garden without worrying about, oh, am I going to mess up the pH balance, or am I going to add too much of this or too little of this? The Redmond Build product is very innocuous, but it's absolutely going to improve your soil no matter what's going on. And I love that. And ironically, it's got bentonite clay in it. That's the main ingredient.
You startled him.
Oops. I startled him?
Yes. Another super chat, Donna Krager. Thank you, Donna.
Hey, Donna.
Good to see you. It says, look at you three, just precious. Congratulations. Thanks, Donna.
Thank you so much.
And Christian Fox again. Thanks, Christian. Super generous. I want a picture of him with his wig on.
Wagon.
In his wagon.
Yes, that can be done. I'm guessing you're talking about the wagon that you sent from the baby list, which would be, we are so excited to get him into that. Here's the funny other side note of side notes of side notes. We're really good at rabbit trails even before baby, but now we're much better at them. But there has been a heat wave in Tennessee since the day that he was born, and our pediatrician was so kind to put the fear of the Lord into us as far as taking him out in the heat. And so Adam, who is the most protective dad in the whole world in the best possible way, has only let Alexander come outside 3 times in the heat. And therein lies a whole thing. But all of our friends were like, oh, you should have him in the summertime. You should have a baby in the summertime. It's so great because then you're inside in the AC all the time. And I'm like, in what universe would I spend my time inside in the AC? My whole life is outside. So precious Alexander, his timing was perfect because he's perfect. But boy howdy, has it been a wild ride to both be on medically ordered bed rest for 2+ months, and then also to be genuinely so stuck inside that we can't even go hang out on the porch for more than 10 minutes without getting yelled at by his sweet papa, who wants, for good reason, to keep his little son nice and cool. Not a possibility in Tennessee until just this week when the heat broke. That was a very long way of saying he'll get out in his wagon soon.
Simple Things with Tammy, super chat. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Do you have a gardening question or a mental health question?
Mental health.
Yeah, give us a mental health question. We love those.
Congrats, Anne. I'm a huge fan for years. I'm currently starting my own garden in a confined area, but I have ADHD also. Do you have any advice or tips that could help me? That was from Crystal Kens. Crystal
Kens asks, what kind of ADHD, mental health, etc. tips can I offer as she's starting her own garden, etc., etc. There's a billion. We have a video, I think, called the productivity hacks from a farmer or something like that. What's that video called?
It's something like that. 22 productivity hacks, I think.
That is basically, for those who aren't in the know, a ADHD primer as far as the things that I use to make my life work. I don't know if you can see behind me here, but I have this board system that's a project management, task management thing. Probably my best tips are use timers and alarms to your advantage. So I set a ton of alarms, both to remind me of things, but also to try to create this sense of inner competition with myself. So I have a physical timer like this that I carry around. I have one of these in every room of our whole life. And that's because when I turn it on and it starts clicking, it helps me to both stay on task, but it also ignites in me this like competition where I'm like, can I do this task faster than I did it the last time? Or also, I only have this amount of time to accomplish this task. So can I do it within that time? That helps a ton. But other than that, I mean, there's a bajillion, and also I am having to re-navigate all of that now because, lack of sleep, and also having a constant distraction and a constant like break in my routine has definitely made this a wild ride to re-navigate. Anything that you care to add?
No, I think we have a good 21-minute video that covers it pretty well.
Adam is always like under the table being like, wrap it up.
It's funny. It's a little bit of a personality difference between us. Is I say things in as few words as possible.
I would love to say things in as few words as possible. In fact, that's a life goal.
Nothing's wrong with it. Nothing.
No, I know.
There's no right or wrong answer. It's just a funny quirk in how we're different.
Adam is a very linear thinker, and I often really envy that trait because I'm a circular thinker. So like I will think of the thing and then I will circle around it and then revisit it about 15 times before I finally get to the point. And poor Adam in how he's had to deal with that for so long. But also, thank you, Adam, for helping me become a lot more succinct in the videos. One of my favorite, this is like, if you don't know Adam, he is so kind and loving, but also sometimes he does not mince words, as he just said. So one of my favorite things that he'll often do is he'll cut me off mid-sentence and be like, I would edit this out. Like our videos.
Startled him.
And so he's like, that's enough about that. He's like, this isn't something that we need to continue to talk about.
I have opportunities to work on my patience at times.
What a treat. I'm so glad I can provide you that opportunity.
Thank you.
I'm going to throw you a baby question.
Great.
Baby question.
Emily's got a baby question.
Whosoever would like to know, what is the story behind his name?
Oh, yeah. I don't think we talked about that in the video. That's a good question.
Actually, I did talk about it in the video, and Adam said, I am going to edit that out. But whomsoever asks, what's the origin of his name? So first and foremost, his name is Alexander, which is the warrior, and we both together fought to save our marriage a couple years ago. When Adam first started working with me on the channel here, we were in pretty dire straits, and he quit his job and made it his full-time gig to save our marriage, which was the first part of all of this. And that is also just like a testament to Adam's character and everything else. And I can very, very confidently say that we're in such a monumentally different place now as a result of both of us putting in 110% to try to fix something that was very, very, very broken. A big piece of which was years and years of trying to have babies and having that be our common goal that didn't happen. But all that to say, what was I talking about?
His name.
Oh, yeah.
The origin of his name.
Good night in
Speaking
heaven.
of circular thinking.
Yeah.
Let's land the plane.
Okay, landing the plane. Alexander is a warrior, and we fought so hard to get him here, both with fertility and everything else. So that was the Alexander part of it. Plus, Adam and I, our first band that we were in was AB, because his last name and my last name both start with B. Our first names start with A, so AB. And so when we started talking about him, we started saying AB times 3, even though we didn't know what his name was going to be. So we were wanting an A name, but actually the Eric part of his name is way more significant than the Alexander part, because Eric is named after my really good friend Eric Florup, who passed away of a brain tumor last year. And Eric was both one of my best friends, but he's also one of the main reasons Adam and I are still married. Oftentimes when we were in the thick of it, I would be talking to Eric about this or that, and he would always say, like, you've got to stick it through. It's worth it. Like, what's on the other side of this fight is always worth it. Other just like many other things, like Eric and I met actually because he's an incredible hand tool maker. So half the hand tools that you can barely see. Wait, how do you point on this thing? Oh my gosh. Like a lot of those tools on the wall back there were made by Eric. Also the saws that you see in my tool chest. Good night in heaven. The saws you see in my tool chest right there, they're all tools that Eric made. And when Eric passed away, I was like, well, there's no question that we will in some way be naming our son after him. So yeah, we love Eric. Yeah,
warrior.
And yeah, we've got our warrior. The battle is won. We got him here.
Hey, buddy.
All of a sudden we're gonna see possibly our, oh yeah, this is it.
That was it.
That was the full fuss. We often are like, and the Oscar goes to Alexander for making something seem like it was about to be a really big deal, but then he's 100%
he recovers
fine.
very quickly.
Yes.
Which kind of gives him away a little bit sometimes.
Yeah. Yes. Also, I will say a funny side note is like his name is not meant to be shortened to Alex. This is like a funny thing that, like, I'll probably get over it because inevitably everyone's going to call him Alex
You're
his
not
whole
going to
life.
be able to stop that train.
But the funny thing is, when we were talking about his name, I was actually also thinking of someone else.
Literally, somebody just commented Alex.
Oh, that's funny. Oops, sorry, that was an unintentional call out.
You laughing about that?
But the other funny thing about that whole thing as we were naming him is someone else I really greatly admire is Alexander, who goes by Allie, and I was like, oh, this will be perfect because his cousins who won't be able to say Alexander for a long time will be able to call him baby Allie, and that'll be so cute. And so anyway, we may or may not actually be able to stick with that as the short thing, but no Alex.
Not in this
Just
household.
kidding.
Here's a fun one.
Yes.
Crafting the Journey says, I need to know how Prince Oliver the cat is doing.
Oh
I miss
my.
his cameos on the videos and IG posts. I need an update.
That's Emily, right?
So Crafting the Journey says, how is Prince Oliver? So Crafting the Journey is also who has made the point to me, or like pointed out to me, hi English.
It's Ellen.
No.
No,
That's Crafts with Ellen. You're thinking of Crafts with
okay.
Ellen. No. I was like, who are you trying to think of? No. Crafting the Journey pointed out to me a couple years ago that Prince
Bubba.
Oliver, my cat, who was a cat who, like a stray cat who just showed up at our house in Washington 9 years ago, who is more of a dog than a cat. He was showing up in the background of every single one of our videos. And she's like, he has played a cameo in every single one of your videos, which I went back and checked, and she was not lying. Prince Oliver, the cat, is both doing wonderful and also is the world's best ambassador of all things cat and animal, because my dad of No Trades, who does not like, or previously did not like animals and was not a huge fan of the whole animal kingdom, is now asking me on a regular basis, how is my grandson, Prince Oliver? And he asks me for daily pictures, oh buddy, to make sure that I'm actually feeding his Prince Oliver in Alexander's
Let me just walk
recent joining of the AOAT family here. So Prince Oliver is thriving, if not fat, fully fat, because my dad has been overfeeding him in every visit.
I've met a lot of people asking, or a couple people asking, do you have a P.O. box to send handmade gifts to, or homemade gifts to?
So people are asking about the P.O. box. Tell them, send me a message.
Yes, for people who are asking about our P.O. box, send me a message because there's...
No, send it to me.
Oh, sorry,
Okay.
yeah, just kidding. Actually, I stopped checking my email last year. As a result, there's another ADHD hack, which...
So send it to Adam of No
yeah.
Trade on Instagram.
Wait, what?
Just send it on Instagram.
Oh, okay, yeah. Send Adam a message on Instagram at Adam of No Trades.
Yeah.
if you want to send something to the P.O. Box, because there's a very long saga of an answer that I shan't go into for fear of being reprimanded in my long stories right now.
Black's Tropical Homestead.
Hey!
Oh, also, I was supposed to tell you that was Lauren, the crafting.
Yes, Lauren.
Oh, hey, Lauren.
No,
Sorry, Lauren.
Yes.
That was Lauren. Black's Tropical Homestead says, how are the banana plants doing? Which makes me laugh because first I'm going to trim them yet.
No. Actually, hilariously. Okay, so Black's Tropical Homestead asks how our banana trees are growing.
We were just talking about this right before
And
this.
literally right before the live stream, we were talking about your banana trees, which are, for those of you who don't know, we had the weirdest, like, you know how people nest, supposedly, when they're about to have a baby? We nested in the most impractical but also probably funniest way possible, in that we did a whole bunch of things that were completely and totally un-baby related. One of those being revamping Adam's tiki hut area entirely and planting banana trees with our friends Black's Tropical Homestead, like in hopes that come fall we actually get some bananas. Was that like a useful, practical baby prep thing? Absolutely not. But also, it was so fun, and it was again, at what point in our future lives as parents are we gonna be able to do something as ridiculous as that and as life-giving and wonderful? So, like, zero regrets.
Hey, bye. He's being such a good sport.
He is really being so precious. Zero regrets about the banana trees. But by the way, the banana trees and the ginger and everything else that we planted together is thriving. And I am still very hopeful that even though this is not the proper growing zone for bananas, that we are going to actually get a banana harvest. We'll see whether we can eke it out or not. Also, there's a little Easter egg in the back of this video. Well, actually, there's two. First, Alexander's Windsor chair that I built on this channel. And then also Adam's sun hat. So I just wanted to point those out. Also, my melodeon that, speaking of nesting in the weirdest way possible, I got that melodeon to restore in the 8th month of pregnancy because that seemed like a good idea at the time.
I think maybe he's hungry. What do you think?
Should we give him to Auntie Emily? What do you think? We can also feed him his bottle. It's up to you, Papa.
Yeah.
Adam is literally the best dad in the world. This is him knowing all of, like, he'll be on Instagram being like, oh, that's his neck cry.
Yeah.
And this is his whatever. And so Adam's coming to me with all of his little things that he's learned on the internet while Alexander and I were sleeping.
I have a question from Jody Sullivan.
We're ready, Jody Sullivan, for your question.
She said, taking out old trees from a deep creek line, replacing with native or fruit trees to stop erosion. Any input would be appreciated. So far removed mimosa, replaced with peach. No, not long lived.
Oh, okay. So, sorry, what's the name again?
Jody Sullivan.
Jody Sullivan asks, I want to replace, this is paraphrasing, but I want to replace invasive trees along our creek bed with native trees to help with erosion and also to have native trees versus invasive. So how should I go about doing that? The best advice I can give with that is to, like, as much as possible, like, don't remove the old trees that you don't want entirely. Like, maybe trim them back significantly because you want to keep their root system, which is helping stop soil erosion, in place as long as possible while also not competing with the new trees for nutrients and sunlight and all that stuff. So what I would recommend is, like, either trim it back significantly, cut it down to the core and just let those roots decompose naturally as you're planting the other trees that you do want alongside them. But yeah, just thinking about, like, how long is it going to take for this little tree's root ball to, like, expand to the point that it's actually taking over where this other tree is going to die back, and that's going to decompose and that soil possibly could erode. Also, as you're doing that, I would highly recommend planting other things that are gonna, like, even if it's temporarily, putting other things that are gonna put like significant roots down to help stop erosion in the meantime as well. Though grasses and things can become a huge issue that you end up like battling, grasses are one of the fastest growing, and also like things like Bermuda grass and things have really deep root structures that can help like basically stop soil erosion if that's something that's going on like in a destructive way. And hopefully that answers the question.
Here's another one. Whosoever, a fellow woodworker and leather craftsman, is curious to know what is the big tool in the upper left corner.
Oh, I don't know the difference between left and right, but I'm guessing that this is what you're talking about. And this is called a frame saw. This is for resawing larger pieces of wood to make them smaller. So before, we had like band saws and other things like that, and you could just, use a power saw to make a piece of wood thinner, or like utilize a thick piece of wood to turn it into several different pieces of wood. You would use a frame saw. So this is actually one that I built with my friend Steve Dando. That was a super fun project. You can find it on my channel. It's called Building a Roubo Frame Saw or something like that, Building a Roubo Saw. And then you can also see us resawing a super thick piece of wood and making it into a book match slab that then ultimately became a piece of furniture that's now up in our house. But yeah, that is a kind of silly, superfluous, one of those mini tools that I have that Adam constantly makes fun of me for having, because he's like, electricity exists, right? So
ooh, that was a good burp.
Oh yeah, you're probably all getting a really great
probably patting the mic.
Yeah, you're probably getting an auditory treat in the form of his toots and his burps.
But that was a legitimate burp.
Whosoever said sorry, black tool in the corner.
Oh, is it maybe the lathe right there? There is, ironically, this is a present that I bought for baby Alexander. Again, probably not the most practical nesting technique ever. But yeah, that is a pedal-powered lathe. And all of that to say that, like, I mean, if you were here, I mean, before we moved to Tennessee, you've seen me learning all kinds of hand tool. I mean, we're in my hand tool woodworking shop, all these things. But I, as a young kid, struggled with tons of learning disabilities, and one of the things that like helped me deal with life was learning how to do a bunch of historical trades at a living history museum that was, like, in retrospect, not the coolest one ever. We've now since been to many cooler ones like Sturbridge Village, Colonial Williamsburg, other things like that. But using treadle tools and hand tools was the way that I was able to utilize my young exuberant energy productively. And I always was like, if I ever have kids, which I deeply hoped for, they're probably gonna be like me, because genetics are funny that way. And I wanted to build a place that had the outlets for boundless energy and a desire to be like productive and not just destructive. And anyway, I have an entire foot pedaled wood shop ready for Alexander the moment his feet can touch the pedals.
Earthy Artist says, any tips on how to get rid of elderberry? The yard is small and it's taken over.
Elderberry is a nuisance. So if elderberry is a nuisance, this is something I have never encountered, because we really like elderberry, but also would highly, anytime you have something that you don't want anymore, my first thing is, like, you can, like, the leaves of a plant are its solar panels. That's what gives the roots energy and gives the plant the opportunity to grow. So what you can do is cut off all of the foliage so that it no longer has its solar panels. You can put down cardboard, you can put down mulch. Like, basically you want to, like, anything you want to get rid of, you want to starve its ability to regenerate or energize itself. And so, like, it really doesn't matter what you're trying to get rid of. The answer is generally cut it down, trim it heavily, like cover the roots, stop it from being able to grow, mulch it heavily. That's how you take care of anything that's annoying. But also send me some shoots, because boy howdy do we love propagation around here, and we could propagate some elderberry all day long.
Here's a funny one. The clever cowgirl would like to know when baby Alexander is getting his first pony.
The clever cowgirl asks when baby Alexander is getting his first pony, and the answer is he already has it in the form of Howdy and Bella, my miniature donkeys, who you can see enriching our lives and helping us with our recycling in every one of our former live streams that we've offered. Howdy and Bella were, again, something that I got a long time ago, genuinely thinking we would imminently be having children. Now they're 9 years old and know how to, pull carts and plow fields and do all kinds of other fun stuff. They can give rides. I am so dang excited for Alexander to experience all of that, but he's going to experience it in the form of donkeys because they're way lower maintenance than ponies or horses.
I'm seeing some notes that the stream is buffering a little bit. It looks fine on our side, but let me know if that keeps happening.
Oh yeah,
I do notice we lost some amount of people, so.
If there's a problem with the buffering, we apologize. Whoever knows what's going on here in rural Tennessee, we earlier lost our water for no explicable reason, and it's yet to return. So there we are. Sorry, and also hopefully it's fixed by now.
Hey, buddy. He's so good.
He is genuinely the best.
Do
we have any other good questions, Emily?
I find a good one for you. Lots of talk about banana trees. C. Walter says, I have 2 banana trees in my sun porch in Nashville. Didn't get any fruit off of them, was concerned to plant them outside. Do they die back in winter in our area?
Oh yeah, so if you're just joining the conversation on banana trees, in the South, like basically we here in Tennessee in Zone 7B are at the edge of you may or may not someday get a banana if you really do things well. However, the tree itself, well, it's not really a tree, it's actually in the grass family, weirdly enough. It will die back if there's a hard frost and things like that. But unless there's a really, really hard frost and it's a heat-loving variety, your banana trees will grow back. There's actually, I love this, they're banana tree, there's a grandmother, a mother, and then it's pups, it's babies. Banana trees keep growing back unless you really, really screw things up. Which, if you do, no shame in that. We all do.
Jacob Walters asks, any ideas on why tomatoes aren't turning red, even though they are full-sized?
Ah, yes. Jacob Walters asks why his tomatoes are not turning red, even though they're full-sized. And the answer is almost always with tomatoes. If you are not getting your tomatoes to ripen, the very quick, easy answer is, what is the job of any plant? We might think it's to provide us endless sources of nutrition, but no. Every plant, its sole purpose is to proliferate the survival of the species. So every plant wants to get to the point that it's making seeds. Here's the thing. Our seasons happen, even if you're in a hot climate all the time, our seasons happen as seasons. There's a rainy season, there's generally a warmer season, a drier season, and tomatoes, just like most other things, have to go through the full cycle that often is disrupted by us being loving plant parents and loving our plants a little too much. Tomatoes, to put on the fruit and ripen and create the seeds that the plant needs, we have to give the plant the signal that the season is ending. So we need to stop watering it so much. Otherwise, our tomatoes will never ripen, or they'll rot on the vine and we will end up with no good tomatoes. So the best answer, if your plants, especially your tomatoes, your peppers, other things that are kind of in that family, are not actually ever ripening, stop watering, which we have a whole video about this on our channel called
Stop watering
your garden. Oh, okay. I felt like it was maybe cleverer than that.
No, wait. It was like maybe watering your garden the lazy way or something.
Yeah, something about stop watering your garden. Anyway, there's a picture of me looking like annoyed at a hose. And the answer is that like about halfway through the garden season, wherever you are, whatever your garden season is, halfway through your garden season, you pretty much want to stop watering, especially the plants, the fruiting plants, so that it triggers to them, hey, the season is ending. You've got to get your butt in gear and create the seeds that are going to help your plant, like help your species survive. Because if you don't, and you just keep watering, it's just going to be like, oh, we've got it. We've got time. We're going to keep getting water. We might as well keep growing bigger, but we're never going to actually ripen anything.
Oh,
did I say that was going to be the
good.
fast version?
That was a good burp.
That was not a short or a fast answer, but you did hear a good Alexander burp, so good job.
He says
Wilson
yes.
B. Me asks, are you going to make your own baby food when Alexander is ready?
Oh.
Good news of great joy. The question was, the question was, are we going to be making our own baby food? Currently, we are in fact making our own baby food. Sorry, that was too much. Thanks to, it's basically 100% chocolate milk.
Hold the chocolate.
Hold the chocolate. I'm just kidding. All right. Are we going to be making our own baby food? The long and short answer is yes, absolutely, as much as we can, because hilariously, the one nesting activity that I did that I actually feel is baby related is that in a desperate attempt to do something in my 9th month of pregnancy that felt both productive and felt like it was actually for the baby after planting banana trees and clearing out the forest and other things that were very big distractions. I planted a huge field of sweet potatoes, which you'll be able to see in our new video that we're going to be releasing shortly. Anyway, so he's going to have a lot of sweet potatoes and hopefully a bunch of other stuff too. But yeah, absolutely, to the best of our ability. Plus, those of you who have know that we do dairy farming, I partner with my friend Tyler, and we do the dairy cows and all the dairy stuff together.
That was good.
Her husband is also a vegetable farmer, so all the stuff that we would normally be growing ourselves and being ready to can at this point, which is not possible at this exact moment, we're gonna get from them. We'll can it, we'll be ready. And the other stuff, just like I say to everyone, in a dream world, we would get all the things done and we would do it all perfectly and to a certain standard that we really believe in. But what doesn't get done will get purchased, just like everything else, because that's just how life works sometimes. Little teaser into what our next video is that we didn't expect to take 3 months off due to my health from our garden and things, and some wild destruction definitely happened in the garden as a result of not natural causes like funguses and lack of rain or anything which we expected, but in fact because my beloved donkeys
betrayed you
and dogs betrayed us, and they got into the garden in a big way while I was on my maternity leave, and our garden is a disaster. But here's the funny thing, that I said that my Hail Mary attempt at doing something for the baby right before he was born was tossing a whole bunch of random stuff in the ground outside the garden, and hilariously in the wake of the garden being kind of hilariously destroyed. It was not hilarious at the time, I'll be honest. I wept, and Adam has had to hear.
We will rebuild.
Yeah, we will rebuild, but
also
whatever.
Lazy gardening for the win.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is we're still picking a lot of usable stuff from the garden and everything like that, but there was some definite casualties that were a little more than disappointing, which you'll see in our next video. But all that to say that yes, we will be making baby food to the degree that we can, and what we need to augment, we also will do that, and we won't feel shame about it, because the reality is, like, the goal this year was this, and anything else
Mission
is
accomplished.
a bonus. But also, hello.
He loves this shirt.
You've been asked a couple of times from a couple different people if you had him naturally or if you were induced.
People are asking whether we had a natural birth or whether he was
He's naturally here.
induced. He is naturally within our presence. So, funnily, a lot of, I think because we are in the space that we're in, and also people have seen me DIY everything, I think a few people have been very vocal in the comment section of things that, like, they were shocked that we didn't do things a certain way. The reality is we always have, again, just like I said with the baby food, like the ideal, and then also what ultimately ends up having to happen. We had a midwife this whole time. My best friend Brittany, who got married in our barn. If you want to see a really awesome video that's filled with hope, check out our video, 10 days to a wedding or something like that. I always forget what these videos are called because Adam's so good at titling them. My titles never get used. Anyway.
No, that's not true.
That's not
You have great titles.
Thank you. Well, so generous. But anyway, all that to say, Brittany was my doula. We had a good midwife. We were, like, in a dream world, we would have done things a certain way. We found out at the 11th hour that both of our lives were really in jeopardy. And we are very, very thankful that our birth center that had our midwives used was attached to one of the best hospitals in the nation. Because had we not been that available to get the intervention that we needed, we very likely both would not be here right now. And so, we had the plan. The plan didn't go according to plan, and that's okay, because we got him here anyway. And not to tread on the toes of the video that Adam really beautifully made about our birth story and everything, but, like, if you had never told me that was a hard or a bad experience, or that's not what it's supposed to be like, or anything like that, this isn't like motherhood amnesia speaking. Literally, like, our time in the hospital, both times, was truly, like, some of the best times of my life. And not just because we got to meet him or anything like that. It was literally just, we had an incredible medical team. It was, like, we chose, like, going into it, that we were going to have a great experience no matter what, and we did. And that is, like, something we talk about on this channel all the time, about, like, with mental health stuff, with perspective stuff, with everything. It's like the way you stick with anything that's really, really hard is the way you frame it, and the way you think about it, and then more importantly, the way you remember it. And so, like, every doctor that we've seen postpartum has been like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you had such a traumatic experience. And I'm like, this is not me being overly positive. It's just genuinely like, what traumatic experience? This was literally, oh, his little baby pterodactyl noise. This was not, like, we're not carrying trauma into the next season of our lives. This was truly, like, I can't imagine it being any different or any better.
Hey.
Yeah. Full stop.
Full stop.
Yeah. Adam is a real champion, because I will say Adam has the world's softest heart, and he's, like, there is maybe a season of our lives that he wouldn't have been a natural caretaker, but boy howdy, the way that he stepped up to both, like Alexander ended up in the NICU, like, Adam, like, consulted with me as all this was going on, and he was like, hey, do you want me to stay here with you, or do you want me to go with him? And I was like, go with him all day long. Like, I need to know that he's okay. I didn't get to see him again until the fully next day, because I couldn't move. But knowing that Adam was with him was so great. And then literally, as I couldn't do any of the things that I had expected I would be able to do right away, like, Adam was there taking care of both of us in the most beautiful way. Like, he got a really quick introduction into parenthood like how to change diapers, how to swaddle a baby, how to feed a bottle, how to all these things, because I literally was like completely and totally incapacitated for basically the first 2 weeks of Alexander's life. And he, like Adam, took care of both of us so well. Aww. And we love him for it, but also we loved him before that too, so.
Oh, sorry, I'm like split focus here.
I mean, well, we often tease Alexander that like he's not allowed to cry and beg for things while he's currently eating, although that seems to be one of his favorite things. He's like, hey, I want your full attention. I have a cow that'll kick me or kick at me if I talk while I'm milking her, and we always joke that Alexander's the cow that's going to kick me. He's like, I would like your full attention.
He's doing really good though.
Oh yeah, he's so good. But when you're feeding him, he really does not like you to do anything except fully pay attention to him and feed him, which is clear based on his 22 chins down here.
He's gaining weight fast.
Yeah,
Walking in Faith wanted to know how much he weighed.
At birth, he was 7.7 pounds. He now weighs 13 at 6 weeks. So he's definitely eating.
He's up there in the percentiles now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So his height.
We think it's like 20.
Yeah, he's 24, 25 inches long, which is hilarious because we had to go yesterday to get his hips looked at because hilariously, apparently, if your baby is folded like a little origami puzzle inside of a tiny mom its entire pregnancy and it's this big, they're worried about how he's developing. But mercifully, he got both of our really long torsos and tiny, short little legs, so his hips are fine.
Yeah, we both have that in our genetics.
Yeah.
I'm like really long arms,
we both,
long torso.
Yeah, we both have like a way longer wingspan than
my wingspan's like 6'7".
Yeah, he's
and I'm not 6'3",
and his wingspan is 6'7". I'm 5'2", and my wingspan is 5'7". So
he's gonna have some weird genetics.
Hopefully he won't be afraid of the water the way that I am because he'll be a great swimmer.
Swimmer body.
Swimmer body.
That was a missed opportunity for me.
Here's a fun one that I want to know the answer to.
Great.
Crafty Grandma asks, did you bring all the popsicles to the hospital, or were they informed to stock up before you got there?
Wannabe Crafty Grandma says, did you bring the popsicles to the hospital, or did you have to pre-warn them that you were coming? If you saw our birth video, I talked about the fact that I am obsessed with popsicles. This is a lifelong obsession. Mercifully, Vanderbilt had plenty of freezers worth of popsicles, but here's the funniest thing. Both during the birth and during our second hospital stay, I ate them out of all of their great popsicles. And they the hospital staff, we had so many nurses that were literally going to other sections of the hospital looking for more great popsicles for me. And there's a funny little side story from that whole thing that, I ate a lot of popsicles in the first 2 weeks of Alexander's life. Bringing it back to gardens. Here we go.
Carrie Mackey is fighting Mexican bean beetles. Any advice on how to win the battle in Knoxville?
Knoxville. Hello, neighbor.
Oh, yes. Carrie
Mackey.
Carrie Mackey is asking how to win the battle against Mexican bean beetles. I'll be honest, I've never heard of a bug called that. However, I will imagine I imagine that I have them.
If they're in Knoxville.
Yeah. Oh no, if we're neighbors, we probably have the same kinds of beetles or bugs or anything. The answer is almost always to those things. Plant some sacrificial stuff kind of away from your stuff that you do want to keep. Hopefully, and plant those earlier in the season. A little, so this isn't going to help you right now with the issue that you have at this exact moment. But next year, as we future plan, plant some other thing earlier in the season than you maybe would. So it's going to be a little bit weaker. It's not going to have the immune system that your plants that you'll actually keep and use will. And hopefully the bugs and the pests will congregate on those, and then your plants that you plant later in the season, when the plant has more access to sunlight, so like later in the season, the doubling power of the sun, and any plant's ability to get what it needs to be able to stay healthy is going to be higher. So just plant a forget-me-now plant earlier in the season. Let those bugs congregate there. Every time, like pull that plant and burn it before your other plants start getting to the maturity. The other thing too is the reason lazy gardening works for literally anything is when you improve your soil health, you improve every plant that's growing in that soil's ability to fight off any kind of pest and disease. So now that we have the garden that we have, we really don't worry about pests anymore, because the plants that we plant in it can sustain the damage that might come as a result of having pests, because the soil is so healthy. A big piece of that is having the right mineral balance and things like that, and a lot of that stuff comes from getting your soil tested, which is way easier now than it used to be. You can go to Redmond has a really easy to read, easy to use soil test that will tell you exactly what you need to know about what's going on in your garden. And I think Emily can put a link to Redmond there. Use the code ANNAVALTRADES, you'll get a discount. But those Redmond soil tests are so fantastic because they'll tell you exactly what you need to do to get your soil. They're not going to tell you oh, you need to use NPK fertilizer. They'll say, hey, you just like us humans need to take a handful of different vitamins depending on where we're deficient. It'll say, hey, your soil needs a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And it will tell you exactly how to get that. Not trying to sell you stuff. It'll just literally tell you where your soil's at. If you can get your soil balanced, that you've got the right elements in place, your pest pressure will drop dramatically, because though those pests will still be present, though there will be diseases and funguses and other things like that, your soil will be such that your plants are armored against any kind of issue that might come. The funny thing that we've dealt with here is I can look at my garden and I'm like, oh no, there's a little bit of this fungus or there's a bunch of this pest pressure. But if I look at the woods that are 150 feet away from my intentionally planted garden, the plants back there are suffering way more than the stuff in my garden is, and that's literally just as a result of having healthier soil. And then also just kind of thinking intentionally, how are we going to steel ourselves against as many of these potential issues as we possibly can.
Did you talk about this thing you made?
I maybe mentioned it casually, but here's the funny, wonderful thing about...
Annie made this.
Yes, thank you. Well, I did.
Not the best.
With my friend Nick, who, if you've followed us since Seattle, my friend Nick and I did a ton of projects together. We actually built my first dream shop together, tons of other stuff. But this is one of the things, because Nick was, at that time, he and his wife were just getting their family started, and he had found some design or something that he liked, but he was like, oh, we could do this so much better with actual joinery, the kind that lasts. And hilariously, this has now been through 3 of Alexander's cousins and has miraculously survived and is here now for baby Alexander to use. And this is one of those very funny, poignant things that I truly, when I made these, I was like, man, I wish I could be making these for my own kids. Just I made that Windsor chair, hoping that someday I had a little baby to sit inside it. But yeah, it's really, really, really fun to have these moments of full circle-ness where it's oh man, I built this 9 years ago for his first cousin, and now here it is in our house being used by our baby.
Boomeranged back.
That really is so special, and I'm so thankful for every aspect of that. And I mean, we were just talking about how much I miss building stuff with our friend Nick. Anyway, all that to say, I haven't cried even once. Are we?
I don't know how.
I hope someone was placing bets and taking money on the 10-0 odds that I would not cry today. But also, the night is young.
Fabulous Toby would like to know, do you have any okra growing secrets? It grows so poorly where I live, but I love it so much.
Fabulous Toby asks about one of my absolute favorite things in the entire world, okra. And I will say that when we lived in the Pacific Northwest, I grew okra every year, and I had to baby every single one of those plants, and babying it in my greenhouse and taking such special care of it. I would be lucky to get a plant that was this tall and it grew 3 pieces of okra, and I would cherish those 3 pieces, and I would, like, from my 10 plants in my greenhouse, harvest one time and one time only and make a delicious tiny little plate of fried okra. So all that to say that in some climates it does better than others. Here in Tennessee, okra is basically a weed. I will very quickly be picking my okra from a ladder, as I always do in August, September, and October, from our 15-foot tall okra trees. And so that's not like bragging. I mean, well, it is bragging, obviously. I was just telling you about that. But I will say that, like, having healthy soil is important, but also being in the right climate is significantly more important. The one thing that I will say is that if you are struggling growing, like, any plant that you want to grow and it's not growing super well, look to see if there is a variety of that plant that does better in your specific growing area. So with that, can you, like, is there a like, you know, a zone, whatever zone you are, 7B variety of okra that grows better? Or is there a variety that grows better in a rainier climate or whatever else? Look at that and then, like, try growing that variety instead. But also, you know, if you're in Alaska and you're trying to grow okra, like, I could give you a lot of tips, but it's also going to be really hard unless you're, you know, stoking a hot fire next to it all season long and putting a nice grow light over it.
There you go.
This is so, actually, this is, like, so precious seeing him in this. Like, it really is so wonderful coming full circle.
Whoops, jinx.
Oops, jinx. I'd say you owe me a Coke, except I don't ever want Coke, but I always want a chocolate Re-Lyte, so you can go milk the cow, bring me a nice fresh glass, mix in the Re-Lyte, and we'll be ready.
There you go. Like it.
Oh, look at him.
He's so sweet.
In case you're just joining us, we are really disappointed with our son, and just kidding, he's perfect in every single way. And
I saw somebody comment, it said congrats on breeding.
Oh, listen, as a farmer, actually, I can tell one funny story that Adam definitely cut out of the video. Well, actually, there's like 1,000 that are related, but basically,
There's a lot of stories.
there was a lot of stories, but there's some really funny moments where, like, my only experience with a lot of this stuff is, you know, animal related. So I was often, like, they would say some medical term and I would be like, oh, it's just like when the cows do blank. And then I would get a bunch of blank stares because we live in a city and a lot of these people have never been around a cow and they were wondering why I was making that reference. But probably my favorite, like, funny animal reference that was not received in the way that I expected it to was when I called the breast pump a milking machine.
Oh, at the hospital?
At the hospital. And the lactation consultant was like, what?
Well, like, literally everything that was going on throughout the entire birth process, you'd be like, well, that's just like with cows. Like, and then you'd, like, somehow relate it back to cows. Every time, and it was funny. I thought it was endearing.
Well, I will say that, like, one funny thing about, like, having whatever learning differences that I've had is that, like, one of the ways that I've made the world make sense is always, you know, comparing something that I don't understand to something that I do understand. And so putting things into that context is always like, oh, like, you want to explain to me how an engine will work? Let me, like, put that into the context of this other thing that I understand how it works. And so, yeah, there was also a really funny instance where someone was talking about the farm, which is actually a training facility for midwives and doulas here in Nashville area. And there was a wild, many hours long miscommunication with one of our midwives who thought I was talking about the farm. And I was in fact talking about the farm that I live on. And I at one point referred to my heifers because a heifer is a young female cow, and she thought that I was referring to human people giving birth as heifers, and Adam was like mortified because he understood the context that I'd missed. And he was like, that, like, as we left that appointment, he was like, she wasn't talking about cows. And I was like, what? So anyway.
I don't know who Casey Frank means, but Casey Frank says, has he been milking the cow since you've been home? I don't know if he means baby or
Casey Frank wants to know if baby Alexander has been milking the cows. And I will tell you that Adam and I were just discussing, yesterday was our anniversary, and I told Adam that what I wanted for our anniversary was a portrait of me milking my cow with Johnny standing by and Alexander's little hand extending toward my cow's teat like the hand of God Michelangelo painting from the bassinet that's sitting here now. So in answer to your question, Alexander seems to be a very good cow milker. He has all of the skills so far, I can personally attest. And yes, Alexander's doing a great job. But also, in a more serious note, Adam is not having to milk the cows. In a much more serious note, Tyler, my dairy partner in crime, friend, and I split the milking business, and we actually, knowing that this was about to happen, hired a part-time employee to help us with the milking duties so that the dairy farm would not go remiss in our thisness. Because squatting down on a milking stool and washing 10,000 dishes.
Thank you. Thank you for sparing me from that.
Yeah, poor Adam. Adam has been such a good sport in so many ways. I will say also, like, he was milking the goats even. We ultimately, once we realized that we didn't need to have the goat milk as a formula replacer, we did dry off the goats. So Adam has also been able to acquiesce his teat squeezing duties in favor of holding Alexander's bottle, and it's really great.
One call out, I was just going to say, there's a lot of comments on here that maybe we didn't reference or like talk about. Annie does, and I do too, we go back and read literally every one of these after the stream.
Oh, absolutely. I can't read and talk at the same time. They go by
very quickly, but I know for sure you go back and read all of these.
Yeah, absolutely. Every single, like, actually just in general, I have, since the very beginning of starting social media 13 years ago, I have read every single comment, good, bad, and otherwise, and it used to be a policy to reply to every single one, and I still try to as much as possible. I will say that on videos like this and like on our birth announcement video, which like we're so amazed and humbled by so many people engaging, I really fall off the wagon on those things because there's like such an influx. But like if you send us a message, like though my dream is to reply to every single one, I at the very least have seen it and read it, and I'm so, like, if you've ever sent me something that like we didn't respond to that was hurtful, I am so sorry. That's
also some of the stories that were shared, I think, especially on the last video and in the pregnancy announcement video, were like very touching. People sharing their own stories, and
even in our miscarriage video too, like people sharing such personal things that it was like
they wrote up some very long, very inspirational stories, and I think a lot of people were touched.
Yeah,
reading those.
Yeah, we're so thankful for all of you and your engagement in whatever capacity. And again, like we try to work through the backlog and get back to everyone. But if we haven't, please don't be offended by that. It's literally like, but at the very least, we have seen it. And we, like, time is the only non-renewable resource any of us have. The very fact that we're able to sit here and do this and make the videos that we do like, we are so grateful for you spending your non-renewable time and thinking that we have some value to offer, and hopefully we always do deliver. We try really, really hard to deliver value in exchange for the time that you spend with us. And like, some of our favorite messages to get are like, I watch your videos with our kids, or, you know, while I was breastfeeding, I needed a distraction, and so I would play your videos, or just like my child had trouble sleeping, so I would play your videos, and I was like, not even offended by that. Like, if I can help lull your babies to sleep, all the better. If I can help lull you to sleep, all the better. But yeah, we so appreciate any and all of you for spending a single minute of your time and attention and your non-renewable one resource that none of us get back. It means so much to us. We love doing this. We're so thankful that we get to do this. And like, a big piece of all this is like, you know, raising a son in this day and age. It's so important to me to like, for him to be able to see us, like doing things intentionally for him, and involving him with us, like with what we're doing as a family business. But also just like me as a woman, like I want my son to see his mom doing things that are different than a lot of people, like, you know, like breaking gender rules. I want him to know that he isn't the be all end all. Like, we both have passions and things that we care about. Like, obviously we care so much about him, but we also want to raise him knowing that he isn't the center of the universe, because that doesn't help anyone. We want him to be part of a family unit. We want him to learn skills that make him feel like he has a sense of meaning and purpose. Also, just knowing how important it was for me as a young child to like get my energy out, chopping cords and cords and cords of firewood in the Montana, to keep our house warm in the Montana winters, but also to expend my energy. You know, he's going to learn all of that, and we want to bring you along for any and all of that you want to be part of. And so we're so thankful you're here.
Definitely.
Hello. Look at his little carrot that you can pick up. I also just want to further just compliment Auntie Emily back there.
Oop, I just tooted.
Oh.
Don't blame it on him.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. That was definitely him.
I don't know if the mic picked that one up, but
that was a juicy one. I will say that growing up in a very, very conservative family, like, we never talked about bodily functions of any kind, and it was like always shameful to toot or do anything. But I will say that, like, all of a sudden toots are really funny and always celebrated. Like, I have never applauded, or the thought has never occurred to me to applaud a bowel movement, but we're doing that a lot. Adam, you're doing a great job. Just kidding, it's just Alexander. No.
Oh, what? I was reading the comments.
Okay.
Ooh, here he goes again.
Yeah.
Well, we're not Lindsay now.
I also really, the whole point of this was I wanted to give a shout out to Auntie Emily, because though he has...
This is a biohazard now.
Though he has so many cousins giving him their hand-me-downs, Auntie Emily's outfits, that are, by the way, 3 to 6 months size, are perfectly fitting our 6-week-old monster of a child right now.
This is the 3 to 6 month.
And he looks so cute in them. And all week this week, our radiologist yesterday, who was checking out his hip situation, was like, oh my gosh, that's the cutest little vegetable outfit. Anyway, he's a real farmer, and he's really making some good fertilizer there. My land. I lost my train of thought.
Sorry, buddy. Don't mean to embarrass you.
No. We're not embarrassed. We're celebrating it. That's the whole point of the story you just missed, is that we are, like, both Adam and I are constantly applauding his toots, his bowel movements, everything, like a smile, a gas smile, whatever. I also just, out of the corner of my eye, saw a comment, this is rare, and I just was miraculously able to read it. But Camp Clem said, "Do you miss focused, intentional time woodworking? I've watched you for many years, long before farm content. You all and our family's interests pivoted at the same time. We're homesteading now too." Yes, I absolutely do. In many ways, miss focused woodworking content. If you're new to the channel and you've only seen our gardening or homesteading content, this used to be a woodworking channel. Like I would build things like Windsor chairs, carved spoons. I would sometimes show our garden, but it was an afterthought at best. And that was because at that time, my full-time job was, I was running a woodworking school. I was writing for multiple woodworking magazines, and we've done a hard pivot to farm content, mostly because A, we moved to Tennessee where we're now running a much larger farm. B, we are building a woodworking school that has taken about 5.5 years longer than we thought was going to take to build. And so it's not my full-time job to just build furniture and talk about how to build furniture all day, every day anymore. Do I miss that? Absolutely. There is something very special to be said about waking up in the morning and knowing exactly what you're going to do, having it be within one building and have that result be predictable. Nothing with farm life is ever predictable or repeatable or any of those things. Do I miss teaching in that context? Absolutely. Like there are so many things about that like former life that I miss, but also we are working our way back towards it. When we do eventually finish building the School of All Trades, which is, I'm pointing to it, but you can't see it. It's right there outside my office window here. When we finish the School of All Trades, there will be a lot more focused woodworking time, attention, all that stuff. We'll be doing that stuff again. Right now, the only focused woodworking time and attention that I get is when I go help my woodworking mentor, Greg Pennington, build Windsor chairs, teach Windsor chair classes, do the occasional spoon carving thing, or go and teach somewhere. There's a season for everything. My woodworking season will very likely return, especially as we kind of get a handle on all that stuff. But yeah, we're still building a woodworking school. It's gonna happen. It's just taken way longer, cost way more, involved 1,000 more pivots than we ever thought were gonna happen. And boy howdy, is this pivot the best that we could have possibly asked for.
Hello, 3D printing nerd.
Oh, Joel Telling in the house. This is like Joel Telling helped me launch my YouTube career in every regard. Also, he was our neighbor back in Washington, and I am the least tech savvy person you could possibly ever meet. But Joel used to help me fix things like he would like help me print parts to fix my Playmobil toys, which as a fully grown adult human without children at the time, I still regularly played with my Playmobil toys, and no one judged me for it. Or if they did, it was silent or blocked. But Joel, hey buddy, we miss you tons. And what a fun blast from the past. Oh, Joel, I will tell you, thanks to my friend Dustin Penner from DP Woodworks, have recently purchased my very own 3D printer. And though I still struggle massively with technology, I've somewhat learned how to do some 3D printing stuff to print some chair making tools, which is a real hoot. Are you frantically waving at me about a good comment?
No, I made note of the chat.
One more question.
Yeah, we have one more question. It's 9:56. Emily has a job.
Yeah, we have to let her.
We literally have to release her.
She is very
at some
generous
point.
to help out.
We're
today.
loving Auntie Emily right now so much.
See, Walter wants to know, do you sell milk at the farmer's market or from the farm?
So we do sell milk at we sell milk at 6 farmers markets, I believe, and also we opened a farm store that's open on Tyler and Eric's farm on Tuesdays and Saturdays. So if you're local to the Nashville area, you can get our milk and milk products Also, in case
Hey,
anyone
Momo.
can hear this, I certainly hope you can. Howdy, the donkey, is standing outside the door as he has been this entire time. But he just heard us doing something. He's out there right now going, ah, 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 which there's another really quick story I can tell. So Bubby has his own little bedroom that I've built in the upstairs of this, which I think you can see in our Weeds Are Good video. You can see like the baby suite that I made up there so that we can still work while being down in and around the farm. Anyway, there we have the baby monitor that, you know, basically lets us know if he's crying. And so Adam and I will have the baby monitor with us at all times, 50 feet outside. Every single time he makes even the slightest noise on the baby monitor, the donkeys pick it up and immediately start going wild. So though the livestock guardian dogs don't seem to care about Alexander very much, the donkeys definitely do. And it is so cute seeing how the donkeys react, not to him himself. They basically just want to like steal everything that's on the stroller. Ooh, his little pterodactyl thing. But the donkeys, if he dares make a peep, they start crying, and that was going on just now, though I think many of you couldn't hear it. Joel, oh my gosh. So 3D Printing Nerd just gave us a super chat, and that is so kind of you. He says,
thanks, man.
Here's a little something to hopefully get you some very well-deserved ice cream. We are an ice cream family through and through.
Thanks, man.
Bell's Bend Farm, where the milk is?
Yes, Bell's Bend Farm is where you can go on Instagram at Bell's Bend Farms. You can find information about our milk, and you can also come to one of our square dances.
Hey,
those are a real hoot and a holler. And you can also come to the farm store. So yeah, on Instagram at Bell's Bend Farms, and that's where you can get all the dairy goods. Also, I will just say that for probably the most exciting thing for me, aside from the entry of little Alexander to the world, is that we have 10 calves on the way this fall. Emily is also over there in the corner crying with happiness. She is also very excited about the baby calves. But yeah, lots of calves on the way. And it's 10 o'clock p.m.
I think
2 hours past his bedtime.
We're on borrowed time here.
Huge thank you to all of you for being here. Huge thank you to Redmond. Replace every piece of salt in your house with Redmond's real life salt.
Okay.
If you're drinking electrolytes, don't go with the bad ones, go with the good ones. If you like chocolate milk and you want a actually healthy chocolate milk, you can look at the ingredients on the back. Boy howdy, is this the best thing ever. If you've got a mosquito bite, a bee sting, diaper rash, infertility issues, garden fertility issues, check out the bentonite clay that Redmond has to offer. It's superior in every regard. And everyone, please say thank you to Auntie Emily for moderating this chat. Also, just a quick side note, while I was in the hospital for the second time and in the days and weeks thereafter, Emily and her husband were the world's biggest lifesavers. Her husband came and mowed our lawn. Emily came and pet the donkeys and brushed the dogs, and has come and held Alexander, and these are the best neighbors and friends you could possibly ask for. There's a reason we moved to Tennessee, and this is it. Though you can't see her, you only see her hand only when Adam's head is out of the way. Thank you, Auntie Emily, for everything. And also, thank you, Auntie Emily, for the world's cutest, no offense to the other hand-me-downs that he got from his cousins, but the cutest outfits that he is weirdly big enough to fit in at 6 weeks, this 3 to 6 month old outfits. Also, I think another shout out is necessary to his Uncle David Nguyen, who is the purchaser of all of his diapers. Alexander says thank you too. Okay, well, that, as this is happening, is, I think, a perfect way to end this on the happiest, bestest time with our son. Thank you so much for being
Thanks,
here.
everyone.
We love you all, and we cannot wait to see you again. Our next video, we alluded to it and we never got to it. Our
That's
next
true.
video is about the absolute chaos that our very own...
That's this next.
the next video. Apparently, Adam's been holding a video that we shot while I was pregnant, a morning chores while pregnant video.
We filmed in March.
We filmed it in March. It's now just getting done. Hello, August 5th.
But it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
And then our next video after that will be, check what our precious beloved animals
Did your garden.
ruined while I had the audacity to convalesce from the birth of our son. And how to fix a garden that's gone wild.
Yes. Thanks, everyone.
We love you all. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Actually, I'm going to let you end that because I know nothing about what I've done.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers. We'll see you in the
Bye.
next video.
Good
You're
job.
the best.
Thank you.
10,000 thank yous.
That was so fun.